My name is Lou Rubino. I've been in St. Augustine since 1988, and I've been a full-time producer since about 2001. So I've been in the music industry for a long time, and I love what I do. It's not always easy, but it could be worse. I do music for a living. So the way that copyright restrictions have affected me, even as a producer. So for instance, I'll produce a song, and sometimes I can't even use that song to promote my own work. I wanted to use, and I produced this record. It was like a reunion record, and it was kind of high profile in that genre, and I wanted to just put it on my website. So I put a song that I produced on my SoundCloud to put it on my website, and like 2 days later it like got shut down. And I was like, but for instance, if there's an artist that I produced, and they don't want to give me a cut of what work that I've done, I don't know if that's necessarily infringement, but it could mean a few $100s at the end of the year for one song. But and that doesn't seem like a lot of money, but when you're producing hundreds of songs per year, it ends up being thousands of dollars. The crappy part of that is that if somebody, it's hard to even know if somebody is stealing your ideas, because it's not like I've got bots out there,
Yeah.
crawling to see if somebody's taken an idea from me. So who knows? It could be nothing. It could be a lot. I guess it depends on the volume of music that you're putting out. So I'm actually a BMI artist now.
Okay.
I will say that my experience with BMI has been pretty good. I think that the difference between BMI and ASCAP are the two major ones, but I think it's the way that they track the music. I think ASCAP is, they try to get like an exact number count of how many plays, and BMI will take a timestamp and sort of retroactively pay you on that. But they say it all kind of evens out in the wash. My experience with BMI is that it's not always easy for me to register my works. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt. Like you have to go through this like sort of process. To me, it should be a lot easier, but it's not. Once you register your work, it's out there. It's like time stamped. But from what I understand, once you record your work, like even if it's like a phone recording of your lyric and melody idea, as long as it's got something that's a timestamp on there, like your voice memos or like my computer programs, as soon as we record it, it's got a timestamp on there. So that will, if somebody comes up with a thing that says, it's the same type of music or the same song or something that you feel could be an infringement of somebody ripping you off, basically, that will stand up in a court of law and say, this is the date that I wrote this, and which is before you did this, so that you can use that as part of your case. I've never really had to completely scratch an idea, but as a writer and a composer, you are a product of everything you've ever heard. So they say there's nothing new, everything's already been done. But basically what we have to do is take everything that we've ever heard and come up with our own sort of whatever that means to us, in the moment. So, but I've definitely written songs that like, oh, that might be like subconsciously a melody that I heard in the past.
Yeah.
So I might have to change it because it's like, we might be in a writing session with somebody, and I'll be like, ooh, that's a little bit like this song, you know what I mean? And we'll be like, no, let's change it a little bit so it's not so blatant. You know what I mean? But I think there's a fine line between being inspired by something and being, copying it.